Kathleen, do you want to kick us off?
Yep, absolutely. Welcome, everybody. I'm so thrilled that some of y'all could be here today in the middle of the day. And my name is Kathleen Kangas. I have the honor to know Joy Hawk and be able to work with her for so many years. She is an integrative health coach with over a decade of experience working with clients. This woman reads nutrition books for dinner. Okay, you guys. I mean, she is so smart and brilliant and has such a passion for this integrative approach to eating. So I'm thrilled to introduce you. So she's going to help us all out on this GLP-1 activation journey. This is a big question people have, like, how do I eat now?
Thank you, Kathleen. You guys, Kathleen, I don't know, can you see the waiting room? Because people are still coming in. So,
I yeah, but you're the host, so I don't
yeah,
think
I'm
I
the
can let
host.
them in.
Okay, so I'll do my best to multitask. It's not always my strong suit. Hi, you guys. Thanks for being here. I think the biggest message, there's a couple big takeaways that I want to emphasize today. Um, And the biggest one is this GLP activator, it's a tool. Okay. It's a tool. It's not the only thing we're supposed to do. I have seen, can everyone mute, please? Hold on. Okay. So, it's not the only thing that we should be doing. I know that we've seen sometimes, oh my gosh, hold on, wait. I think I need to make, hold on. I'm sorry. I need to make Kathleen the host because I can't talk. And I don't know how to do that. Hmm.
Click on the top, the three dots, and that should give you the option to make me co-host, I think.
Your three dots? Oh, yep. Make host. Oh my God. Thank you, Elizabeth. Liz.
We'll
Saying
see if I can see it.
that. Okay, that should work. Oh, now I'm not the host, but that's fine. You should be the host now. Did that work?
Well, I will see if I'm able to see people come in.
Okay.
Right now, I don't,
Okay. All
but
right, let's
okay.
start over. Hi, you guys. Welcome. Okay. So just remember that this GLP activation, it's a tool. I know that I have seen testimonials out there. There are a lot of times men, okay, that are like, I changed nothing and I lost 45 pounds in 3 seconds. It's not realistic. Okay. Good for you if that's what's happening to you. But I don't think, like, I think the number one thing is, like, I just want to remind us all, and myself included, that the conversation around health and nutrition and weight loss in our society and culture is really broken. Okay. And so what we are looking for here is healthy, sustainable weight loss. And it's beyond also weight loss. Okay. So please, please keep that in mind using the GLP as a tool. And just to remind you guys, I'm not a registered dietitian. There is a difference between hunger and food noise. Okay. True hunger is not a bad thing. It's when your body is communicating to you and telling you that you need something. Okay. There's nothing wrong with eating. If you're hungry, we need to eat. Food noise is different. It's something, raise your hands. I'm curious how many people had a lot of food noise prior to this. I know I did. I was constantly thinking about food. I was eating all the time, excessive, like healthy food, but excessive calories for my body. And so I never felt hungry because I never gave myself a chance to. So now that the food noise has gone away, and I don't necessarily like have the same hunger drive, meaning that like I don't feel like eating all the time, whereas I did before. I do feel hungry, which is a reminder, Joy, go eat. Okay. And so just keep in mind that there's a few things that we want to be looking at food wise. If you're someone that's hunger, are you eating enough calories? I talk to people all the time about this, you guys, and I think there's a lot of people that are not eating enough. So I want to just give you, again, I'm not a registered dietitian. I'm going to tell you how I do it. If you have an expert on this, a registered dietitian in your back pocket, feel free to use them. But your current weight multiplied times 11 is what your baseline calories should be. Okay. So it's your current weight times 11. If anyone has a calculator, I encourage you to figure that out. So it's not the weight you want to be, it's what your current weight is. Whatever that number is, that's how much your body needs. Okay. Now, there is something to be said for going into a caloric deficit. That's not something that we're necessarily going to get into today. But you don't want to be dropping, from eating 3,000 calories a day to all of a sudden down to 2,000 calories. That's stressful on your body. When your body is fasting and not getting enough nutrition, what do you think it does? Holds on to weight. Okay. Anna. So yeah. Anna, and you guys feel free to jump in with questions. You can interrupt me. It's okay. Anna, to answer your question, to maintain your weight is your caloric baseline. If you go above the caloric baseline, that's when you'll start to gain weight. To lose weight, you probably should be slightly under it, but you have to reach out to the person who enrolled you with this GLP activator. Everyone here should have someone who enrolled you. Have us help you figure out like how many calories you should be eating. For example, I'm someone that I was probably eating 3,000 calories a day. My caloric baseline is 2,100 calories, but that's a big drop. So I've been hanging out at the 2,200 range and I'm tracking it. And I'm not tracking it for any other reason, but I want to make sure that I'm getting enough. For people that have said that they have headaches or what have you, a lot of people, so there could be a detox mechanism, and that's not what this Zoom is specific about. But it also, headaches and not feeling well will occur if you've dropped your calories too rapidly or you're becoming hypoglycemic. I wear a continuous glucose monitor. So I can see that my blood sugar has dropped dramatically just from the GLP activation. But whereas before I was eating a lot and my baseline was always, I'm not going to say stable because I had spikes where it got too high. Now all of a sudden I'm noticing that I have to eat more often to keep the blood sugar stable. So there's like, our body is recalibrating. And so what worked before might be different now. So who here knows what are you supposed to eat to maintain a steady blood sugar level? Does anyone know? Heather, you want to say? Go. You guys just yell out. It's okay.
Protein.
Protein and what else?
Fat.
Yep.
Fat.
Yep. Fat, fiber, protein is your friend. Phil's not here, but I think he's diabetic, and he shared with me because I was becoming hypoglycemic a couple of times on this, which has never happened to me before, which tells me that's a problem with my nutrition. Okay. It's not a problem with the GLP. It's a problem with my nutrition and having to adjust it. And I'm used to fasting. I could go easily 12, 15, 18 hours and not eat, and my blood sugar never dipped low because it ran high. Now he said to eat more often, and I started eating celery with some non-sugar sun butter, just a couple, like two celeries like this big, like pre-cut, with a couple dips of sun butter. My blood sugar is like so good and stable. So it's making sure that we're eating, it can be small snacks, fat, fiber, protein more often. And again, I really think tracking is, I know myself included, that I've been resistant to tracking. Number one, because it made me feel shame, like, oh my God, I'm eating so much, I can't even keep track of it all, or I didn't want to see what the numbers are. So let's shift our mindset here and start to track so we know that we're consuming enough. We start to track like with love because we want to nourish our bodies. That's what I would recommend. So it's focusing on making sure that we have enough protein. I eat meat, I eat fish, whatever works for you. I'm not an expert. If you're a vegetarian or vegan, I'm sure you know how to get enough protein, but it's protein, it's the fiber, it's the fat. The other thing that I've learned that my trainer has really drilled into me is carbohydrates. I think that we've demonized carbs, right? But our body needs them. And that's the thing. When we're not getting enough fat, we're not going to be satiated. When we're not getting enough protein, the body's going to keep screaming for like we're hungry, but we have to be able to understand what is our body asking for. If you're not eating enough protein, you're going to feel hungry. Okay. You can look online. Again, I'm not a registered dietitian. I tried to figure it out for you, and there's a lot of different. Does anyone here know how to figure out the protein for formula? I mean, the formula to figure out how much protein. In general, particularly women of menopause, I would really be aiming for 100-ish grams a day, 30 grams of protein per meal. Making sure that you're eating good complex carbs. So sweet potato, a lot of vegetables are carbohydrates. I make sourdough bread. That's a really good carb. Um, Oatmeal's fine as long as, again, you're remembering to pair it with a fat and a protein as well. I wouldn't do oatmeal as a standalone. Um, Lots of like beets are really good, carrots are really good, all the root vegetables. And here's the thing, if you don't get enough water and you don't have enough of those starchy vegetables, you know what starts to happen? What kind of cravings do we get? Sweet cravings. I saw Heather mouth it. Yeah. So I roast beets, like 5, 6 beets and on Sundays, and I slice them and keep them in the fridge for a quick add-on. They're really great. Yesterday I did have a sweet craving. But instead of going for my normal, I literally ate one slice of beet and I was like, okay, I'm done. Who am I? Who does that? Or I had a one coconut date, whereas before I would literally eat like 8 of them at a time, one coconut date. And I was like, oh, that did it. I'm done. Um, so that's a lot of dumping words on you. Do you want to open it up and we can start to answer questions? Who has questions? Nobody has questions? That was it. I'm a
What's your
genius.
favorite way to track calories?
I use it's an app called Levels, and it's paired with my continuous glucose monitor. I don't know if it's free. My Fitness Pal is free. Okay. You can use the free version. I will say I would warn you that when it's asking you your weight and things like that, to be careful because I think it undernourishes people. I think it's telling people to eat too little, my Fitness Pal. So if you are going to use the free version of my Fitness Pal, I would recommend figuring out yourself how many calories you need and not letting that app tell you. I know that there's been chronometer. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? That's been another recommendation. Everybody here hopefully should be in the Facebook group. And these are the conversations that we want to be having in there. That's a really good conversation and question to ask in the group. I know it's been asked already and there was quite a few suggestions. Karen, you like beef and borscht? You guys, I can't see the comments, so feel free, just talk. Let's have a conversation.
Hey, Joy, I just want to throw out there, it's not a question, but I got the Renpho Smart Scale that we had shared, and
Yep.
most of you guys got the link to that.
Yep.
And it gave me this, like my basal metabolic rate, like my baseline calories that I need. And that's like without working out and all these other things. What are your thoughts on that? Like where should people kind of like track in regards to that BMR that they're given on that smart scale?
I'm not an expert on that scale, so I can't say. Like, I'm curious what did the scale say and what did that, your weight times 11? Is that close?
Oh, you know
Is
what?
it
I
the
forgot
same
to do that.
number?
I just popped in my mind because I thought that was interesting for, depending on your weight and your body mass and everything like that with the Brenfo scale, you're going to get a different BMR, but let me calculate my weight times 11.
Yep. I'm curious if there's a discrepancy there.
I think I'm gonna go check my picture from yesterday. I feel like the math that I just mathed on the formula you gave us is different than what showed up on mine. So I'm curious.
Mine's within 100 calories.
It is within 100, so it's pretty accurate. So, but you're spot on, Kathleen, that it depends on how often are you working out, like how active are you, how much muscle do you have, all of those things. I think the biggest thing is I would caution people, again, our society has conditioned us, including myself, to want to lose, 8 pounds in a week or 8 pounds in 2 weeks. The appropriate amount of weight to lose that's healthy to keep it off is 1 pound per week, because your body is acclimating, your body is adjusting. And if you do it too fast, your body's going to readjust back to your norm and add some more. So slow and steady wins the race here. We don't want to be in a fasted state. That's not a long-term solution. So if you're seeing people out there, and I'm guilty, I've shared some before and afters of fast weight loss, and I had to kind of course correct on this product because there are some people doing it, but I actually wonder, are they eating enough? My guess is probably no. So it's not a race to see like how fast we can lose it. In my opinion, it's, can we lose it in a healthy, sustainable way? So let's talk about, yeah.
You know, I don't weigh myself, so I'm not sure exactly where my caloric intake is supposed to be. And I also can't find a tracker where it doesn't require me to put in my weight. So, I mean, I could just throw in a number.
I mean, you could, yeah. You could ask somebody else if you have a trusted friend to weigh you and figure out the amount of calories that you need to do the math. And then you could track your food old school with just pen and paper, and just it's shifting our thoughts to make sure we get to eat enough. Often with me tracking, which is new, my response to the tracking is, oh gosh, I have to go eat. Because left to my own devices, particularly like on this product, I'm not eating enough.
Yeah, I'm the one who goes to the refrigerator and just grabs the cottage cheese and just eats right out of there. I'm like, is that enough protein? Because I don't want to eat anymore right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a problem.
And so what I'm also going to invite you to consider is, so we started on this GLP activator for a reason. Okay. I don't know what your reason is, but I know that what I was doing without it wasn't working for me. And so this GLP activator is a tool where now I get to make different choices. I get to change my behavior. But I think it's a slippery slope when we think, well, I don't have to change my behavior or do anything differently. And this is just magic beans that's going to make me look the way I want to look or whatever, feel the way I want to feel. That's not reality. So
I'd like to say something in regard to that too. I didn't realize, like, on night 2 after dinner, like hours after dinner, I was in my house in the kitchen family room area, and I had the thought of going over to the pantry and getting a snack. And then I realized maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes later that I had not acted on that. And it was an eye opener for me that it was a habit to go and grab a snack, even though I probably didn't need it that, like sometimes dinner is grabbing like on the go, but I had had dinner and I had plenty in my body and didn't need any more. And it was eye-opening, like that.
Yep.
The thought.
That's what I noticed that this has done is I feel satisfied now, whereas I felt like an empty, bottomless pit, never satisfied with food before, and constantly trying to replace that with food. And now I generally feel satisfied. And when I'm not satisfied, that's a cue that my body needs something.
Mm-hmm.
And Joy,
Yep.
hi, this is great. To also piggyback off of all that, you might have said this in the beginning, but I didn't realize that I had food noise. I didn't know what that was until now. There are days I'm 2 weeks in, and yesterday was the first full day where I really didn't even want to eat. I had to track things and make myself eat. But when I did have some ice, I still have ice cream. I still have some things that I've wanted to do, but the satisfaction is there. I didn't need to finish it. There wasn't the need to finish it. There wasn't. And I'm also truly, in sincerity, wanting to eat healthier foods. I've always been a healthy eater, but like you had said, it was consistently throughout the day, all the time, as a habit. I realized that my habit is to want to go to the refrigerator to get something out to eat. But my mind is saying it's not necessary anymore. but I still have to make sure and track that I'm eating enough, because there's times I just really don't want to eat anymore. So it's a very interesting recalibration of the body, the mind, and the gut, and what's happening. And it's so clear that this new activation in my systems is clearly being redefined in a way that I don't know if I've ever felt since maybe my 20s, even if that. So it's really interesting and it's really awesome.
Yep. And I also just want to thank everybody here. We all volunteered to be the guinea pigs. You know, a year from now, someone, you know, will come to me, let's just say, and what can I expect when I take this GLP product? And I'll be able to answer them. You guys came in blind with all of us, and none of us really know what to expect. And it's a little bit like the wild, wild west. We know that it works, but we didn't have all the details. And so I just wanted to really appreciate and thank you and acknowledge that. And that's why, you know, everybody, whoever signed you up is really committed to helping you and holding your hand, all of us holding hands together through this journey. I'm happy to do these Zooms if you guys find them helpful, just to kind of come and talk and collaborate and bounce ideas off of each other. Anna, I don't see you if you're still here, but there you are. They olive oil. So Anna's husband goes to Greece and picks the olives off the trees to make his olive oil, and I'm addicted to it also, Anna. And I've just, whereas I used to be very heavy-handed with the olive oil, now I'm still using it, but I'm a little bit more conscious, like, could I use less, you know? Instead of using a quarter cup of it on my roasted vegetables, could I use a couple tablespoons?
A quarter cup. Swimming.
Good.
I'll throw something out there in regards to that, using because I use ton of that for baking our root vegetables and stuff. But if you can get a mist, it's called misto. You know, get them at Walmart, but you can put your olive oil in that, so it's more of a light spray instead of like pouring it over.
Oh, like you put the olive oil that you want, because I know Stavros, Anna's husband, that's never, she's not going to use a spray. That's not going to go in her house. But you could put the Manoli plug for Manoli cannoli olive oil in this mister, and then just mist that. Oh, I want that. Can you
you can get
you
it
share a
Walmart.
link in the Facebook group? Can you give us a link to that? Because I'll buy that.
That's a great tip. I've had one in the past, but I think I've thrown mine out during a cupboard cleanse. I think I'm gonna have to go get, everybody likes to get something new. I'm gonna get one of those. But it's like those like the soap dispensers that you pour a liquid soap in and then it turns into foam when you pump it. It's like science.
And here I am having the opposite problem, that like my doctor keeps saying that I don't eat enough fat, even though like I try to do a heavy portion on vegetables and everything. So we're also different.
Yeah.
We are also different. I think that's a really good point. And maybe, okay, so this would be a fun little thing is, do you all just maybe drop in the comment or say it here? Like, what are your favorite sources of fat? Say, so I love avocado. I love my Manoli cannoli olive oil. I like walnuts,
butter,
salmon. Like, what else do you guys use for fat? Coconut oil,
almonds.
So are almonds high in fat?
Nuts.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Peanuts.
I like raw cheese.
Yep. Any other ideas? You can put them in the
butter.
Butter.
Yeah. Butter.
Everything's better with butter.
You know what? I might have to hop off here. I just wanted to add, and I would be happy to co-host again, Joy, or just contribute, like however you're comfortable. I would love a conversation around how this is even so much more than weight loss and weight management.
Oh, sure. That's definitely a conversation.
Things happening. It initially became, it was for me initially because of what I'm going through with perimenopause and the menopause and toxic fluid building up and everything. That was my first thought about this, but it is like 80%. That's like on the back burner now. I mean, I'm happy about that, but what's happening with my brain and the organization of my brain and the wholeness of my body is really, it's life transforming. I think that would be an awesome Zoom to have a conversation.
Yep, that'd be great. Thank you. Really quickly, let's talk about protein. I'm a meat eater. So I do steak, we do lamb, I do like grass-fed ribeye. Aldi has it. And I keep saying I'm gonna stop talking about it because last time we went, they were sold out. But Aldi has the best steak that it's literally like $11 at Aldi and it's 30 at Wegmans. So grass-fed ribeye, salmon, cod. I get the frozen fillets at either Costco or Whole Foods. And it's just so easy, no prep. I just throw that in the oven and bake it. And then you can, as a standalone, throw it in a salad, like add it to anything. That's really easy. I do a lot of chicken. I started eating tuna fish. I get the it's lower mercury ones, but tuna fish and just a can of tuna with some celery, onion, a little mayo, lemon juice, salt, and pepper. That's a really easy, just protein slash fat snack if you're using a good quality mayonnaise. Eggs, although eggs I've been surprised to learn are not as high as protein as you realize or as I thought. So I used to eat 2 eggs and then maybe a slice of homemade sourdough toast, thinking that that was a sufficient breakfast. And it's not enough. That's about 350 calories. And I've been aiming to have closer to 500-calorie meals. So that's just me, and we're all going to be different. Any other suggestions on protein?
On the go, I like those. I can't think of the brand right now. Like different meat sticks or, like jerky
Chomps.
things.
Yep.
Chomps. Yeah.
Yep.
Would that be a recommended I was looking for that. Chomps you'd recommend for a protein stick or like a beef jerky or something like that?
That for me, and so again, we're all built differently. I like the chomps, but I find like that's like a quick snack. I found my blood sugar tanked and I became hypoglycemic when I had gone way too long. I probably went like 6 hours without eating. This was probably a week or so, like new into this journey. And I grabbed a chomps because I knew I was really hungry and I needed more time to get to food, and it wasn't enough, but I probably was lacking the fat and the fiber with it. So like, chomps and some walnuts and some celery. Any other questions? We're coming up at 12:30. Any other questions, suggestions?
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Can you answer about, I don't really do well with protein powders usually, but I've heard a lot of good things about Prime Protein. Can you speak to that or any others you'd recommend? If
Prime Protein, I actually just got an affiliate link for it. So I have a 15% coupon if you want it. But I don't like protein powders in general. I don't think they taste good. I like Prime because it's just protein. It doesn't have a lot of other stuff in it. It's grass-fed. I'm not a Prime Protein like advocate or expert. It's just what I use and it's what we've been drinking. What I like about it, so here's another tip sort of connected, is I've also been trying to learn about like just menopause and hormones and realizing that I do much better from a blood sugar perspective when I eat within half an hour of waking up. So I wake up, I take the GLP pills, I wait the half hour, and then I drink a Prime Protein coffee flavor, which is 21 grams of protein that I like. It's pretty clean. And then that holds me over until I feel like ready to eat a meal. So I like it. If somebody else has one they recommend, feel free to chime in. That's just what I've been using right now.
Okay, thank you.
Do you guys have any other, you want to put in the chat, any other proteins that you guys like? Protein powders. Oh, Fairlife. Yep. Do the Fairlife ones, are those higher in sugar? I've never noticed. But I think, yeah. So that would be the only thing, is just watch the sugar in the protein drinks. Core Power. Is that Fairlife? Is that the same thing? There's someone I follow on TikTok that talks about the Core Power shakes that are supposed to be delicious. But I looked at them. I don't think if somebody I care about this, they're not like squeaky clean ingredients, and I think they're higher in sugar, but they do have a fair amount of protein in them. And they're quick and pre-made. So that might be a good fit for some people.
What flavors do you like of your Prime protein powder?
I love the coffee one. They also have an unflavored one, which I think would be really helpful. Just to like throw into yogurt or something. I've been mixing yogurt with the enhance, the MB enhance at the end of the night with flax and chia, and then like a couple like 6 chocolate chips or whatever, and that's like a good sweet treat. I do plain yogurt in it with the MB enhance, and it's like the perfect level of sweetness for me. But the first time I did it, I did vanilla Prime protein in that same recipe, and I thought it was disgusting. It was too sweet. But that's me. I'm not like a super sweet person.
Yeah, I mean,
Grayson likes the chocolate. They also have a peanut butter flavor, and I've heard the strawberry is really good, even though I've never tried it.
Here's another one I've been using. Ancient Nutrition. It's a bone broth protein.
How many grams of protein?
So it has, where is it? Why do I not know where this is now? 22.3 grams of bone broth protein blend, 100 calories, 2 grams of carbs. Oh, here, protein's 20 grams.
That's good. Where did you get that?
So Amazon. I got it on Amazon, and I just recently had this PRP and stem cell injections, and the guy who did those was recommending this for me.
Yeah.
So that's a good choice.
All right, you guys, I hope this was helpful. Like I said, I'm happy to do this. Like, it's just kind of nice to be in community and like we're all on this journey together. Please continue to share directly with the person who you got the GLP program from. Like, they are your personal support, but use the group also, make friends, like we're all here in this together. That was a lot of ramble. So thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, Joy.
Thank you so much,
Joy. Bye, you guys.
Bye.